McElnay on a Yamaha third. His teammate, James Whitham, the championship leader, suffered an early fall. What's the game plan this time?
I've really got to settle down and just think about the championship, like I said, and just collect my points. I mean, the Norton's quite a difficult bike to beat here, and I see from the lap sheet he's gone round really quick time, not quite as quick as I went in practice, but very fast. And so obviously Jim's going to be out to beat, but I'm going to be out there for a win, if not a win, points, just as many as I can.
I don't really anticipate making a very good start because the characteristics of the bike this weekend are that it's not getting off the line 100%, you know. I hope that we can get through really quickly, the same as I did in the first race, and try and make a break again, you know. Obviously Jim will be out in the second race and he'll be out to give me a real run for my money, and Stevie and Rob will be trying hard to make up for the first race as well, you know.
I've not made any changes to the bike apart from a new rear tyre again for the second leg. I was quite happy with the performance. I'll just try and get another good hole shot and get away, and just try and fend off any challenge. I know it'll be hard with the speed of the Norton, but I'll try my best.
And a bit of a ragged start to where they go, and it was Jim Moody.
Jim Moody got a flyer.
Well, he anticipated the lights beautifully.
Yeah, he did really. Jim Moody on the Norton, an absolute flyer, and he'll need it as well because Jamie Whitham is right behind him this time. Number 6, Jamie Whitham, is right in the slipstream of Jim Moody already. And you remember, it was James Whitham in the first leg who got a diabolical start. Hislop is in third on the Honda in number 11, and behind him it looks like the other fast orange Yamaha of Rob Mack, the big burly Rob Mack, thinking about his handicap in golf, no doubt.
There goes the Honda, and this is the rear-facing onboard camera on James Whitham's bike, and Whitham on the inside, and Moody, too brave Ben, and Moody drifted wide, and Whitham charged back through on the inside. So it's Whitham who leads,
and it's been
the
stopped.
race has been stopped.
Stopped this time, not because of an accident, but because of that ragged start. Let's have a look at that one again. Jim Moody certainly makes a quick getaway, with one or two others also anticipating the lights quite significantly. So, another restart.
Round 6 then gets underway, and a much better start this time. The charge is on to the first corner, and Steve Hislop, number 11, number 25 to the outside of him, but I think it was Brian Morrison who stuck his way through on the inside.
It was Brian Morrison on the Kawasaki, and he's done some modifications in the break between these two races because Brian Morrison was unhappy with the way his bike performed in the first leg. So it's Moody in third, 6 there is Whitham in 4.
And out in front, Steve Hislop. And there goes the Crichton Norton, storming through to grab second place.
And Whitham's up the inside of Brian Morrison in the third, so Brian Morrison goes from second to fourth, all in the space of a few hundred yards on the back straight.
Hislop leads, Crichton Norton in the hands of Jim Moody in second place. The fast orange Yamaha of Jamie Whitham. James Whitham must get the right, he slapped me. In third place, and Whitham, whose lead was cut as a result of the tumble he took in the first race. Brian Morrison is there. Rob McElnay. And Whitham goes through. There wasn't room, but he made room. That really was superb stuff.
Incredible and incredibly hard. I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it. Whitham really went through a space that wasn't there, and Moody just had to pick it up and let him go through, because Jim Moody, if he'd have lent it in, they'd have both been down on the ground. A little bit too harsh, I think, for Jamie this early on. As you saw, Hislop out the seat there. Hislop was trying. Here it goes. Let's have a look into the Russell chicane. Whitham lines himself up on the outside of Moody, and as Moody goes to flick it over, it was Moody who saved the day by just sitting up a little bit and letting Whitham through. If he chucked it in, it would have been a major problem. Look at this!
And there, Hislop's Honda just, absolutely incredible stuff. It's Whitham from Hislop. I thought Hislop's Honda was suddenly running out of pace, but Whitham went storming through. Just going back to that overtaking manoeuvre with Whitham and Jim Moody, you may remember, Keith, that these two had a coming together at the bus stop at Mallory Park earlier in the year, and were not pleased with each other. Both blamed each other for the crash that ended that particular episode, and Whitham showing that he's not going to be intimidated by anything that Mr. Moody may say or do.
No, absolutely. I mean, that was clear, and here goes Moody on the Crichton Norton, then up the inside of the Honda of Hislop. So then, Moody into second place, and let battle commence, because now Moody is after James Whitham. And really, out the seat again, and the Norton there twitches at the rear end as he grabs a handful of power, and Hislop's looking for the inside line, out onto the back straight, but no, the Norton's going to be away, and in chase after that man at the front, Jamie Whittam.
Well, I suspect that Hislop has changed the gearing on the Honda. The Honda does seem a lot quicker than it was in that first race, Keith.
Well, the weather is a bit stranger. It's been a little bit up and down, very humid, but the Honda looks quite good, but Morrison hasn't been able to do much with his Kawasaki either, and Hislop there trying all he can in the middle of the S. He's out on the rough stuff. Moody still second, that's bike 25, but off the front is sixth, James Whittam, and he's away.
And Jamie Whittam, well, let's hear his thoughts on tactics when you lead from the front.
If you're a little bit inexperienced, it's difficult. It's one of the sort of first rude awakenings you get usually in racing is you get to lead a race and you can do the times no problem, but doing them when you're under pressure and you think there's somebody behind you, it's very, very easy to make mistakes. For example, running at the end of the straight here, or just take a wide line or whatever. What you've got to do is you've just got to try and put consistently fast times without trying too hard to make a mistake. And if that doesn't work, maybe if they're still with you, it's maybe better to let them pass and sit back and save your tyres a little bit. Because if you're trying hard out in front and you're not getting away from them, you tend to wear your tyres out quicker. If you're sat behind and you can see what's happening, you tend to make your bike last longer, and you tend to be in a more relaxed frame of mind for the last couple of laps when it really matters when you've got to do it.
So, Jamie Whittam, and the tactics on how you lead from the front. Rob McElnay, the well-known golfer, in fourth spot. Brian Morrison behind him. Ray Stringer, he's a charger. Oh, Ray.
Yeah, you can expect Ray to make a passing manoeuvre on Morrison. Morrison's not quite got his bike going as well as he would have hoped. He said it's a bit of a slug out of the turns. Certainly looked quick enough in a straight line, but not quite so fast out of the turns. And Stringer, as you've already said, is one man that when he's this close, he's going to make a passing manoeuvre, whatever happens.
Ray Stringer, part of the Med Racing team for this year. Michael Rutter, the youngster, the son of Tony Rutter, top-class road racer, former world champion. Michael Rutter and Ray Stringer in this new Med team. And, they've been having a good season, despite the odd injury along the way that's upset them. Stringer on the heels of two factory machines here, Keith.
Well, yeah, I suppose you can just about class Morrison's Kawasaki as a factory one, even though that he's running it from home, basically. But there you are, Whittam then into the back markers already. Moody looks closer to me, Chris. Tell me it's my eyes.
It could be your eyes. I'm going to have to look. It was down to 1.31 at the last count on the monitor. I tell you what, if Jim Moody just gives up on the job of chasing Jamie Whittam, suddenly there's going to be a Castrol Honda go flicking by.
And look at it, Hislop's looking at the outside around Coram, cutting tight now. Will he make a braking manoeuvre into Russell Chicane? Yes, he will. And Moody, again, give best. Well, the Crichton Norton is perhaps a little bit heavier than the two bikes in front of him, and that's where both of them passed him going into that Russell Chicane.
And Jim Moody looks over his shoulder to make sure he's not going to get caught out again. He winds up the Norton, and he's through on the inside. No, he's not. I thought he was just going to flick through back and regain second place, but that Norton is quick, and you could see that Moody had not been using it. Let's see that overtaking manoeuvre again, Keith.
Yeah, you saw Moody was out wide, but Hislop had cut real tight and wound the wick on the Honda into this tight Russell Chicane, back down into second gear, and really took it tight. Good drive there from Hislop. Now watch the Norton down the back straight. Is he going to swallow up the Honda on speed? Yes, he is. Going past. No, he's not. On the brakes, Hislop, and the Honda is a little bit better. Moody runs a bit wide there. So he's going to be frustrated now. And Hislop there, big black line at the bomb hole there, Chris.
Adrian Butcher all over again.
That's what worries me.
Well, that's just quite remarkable stuff, and they're closing on some slower men. Some tail-enders about to go a lap down, and this could be the moment of truth for both guys. Hislop can either make a break here. Well, they're on the straight, so hopefully this is not going to cause a problem. And here's these tail-enders. There goes Whittam, and Hislop. Oh!
Round the outside, well, that's the long way round, and Ben Hines really got a shock there. He's going to get swallowed now by a Norton on the inside. Well, he needs a rear view mirror, that man.
One side, one the other. Really is. Probably think it's time to park it and have a quick cup of tea.
Significant though, Hislop wasn't prepared to wait a split second. He wanted that round the outside of that back marker as quick as he could, went the hard way round. Whittam through the camera then. Second place man is Hislop, 11. 25 was Moody. Now it's McElnay in that 4th place. 5 is Brian Morrison. You can see off the back of there, 17 is still Ray Stringer, a long way back. These two have dropped him.
Yeah, they've dropped him off, and Morrison looks as though he'd like to snap past Mr. McElnay to take 4th place and grab some more championship points.
Back with the fast orange Yamaha, Jamie Whittam completing another lap and on his last, I think now, Chris.
That's right, 13 laps in the book, and he is on the 14th and final circuit. And Hislop is a lot closer. Well, that's a bit of a charge by Hislop. He's broken clear of Jim Moody.
Well, Jim Moody then settling by, it looks as if Jim Moody's settling for 3rd. I wouldn't have thought that he'd have done that, to be honest. I mean, Jim, I wonder whether he got it a bit wrong somewhere that we haven't seen. 36 then getting swallowed now, David Goodley.
And there's the gap, number 6, number 11, and the tail end between them. 6 is Whittam, 11 Hislop, the 14th and final lap. The gap was 2.12 seconds. Jamie Whittam cannot afford to ease off because Hislop is charging. There's the race leader. Oh no, it's just too far back to do anything on this final circuit. There is Jim Moody on the Crichton at Norton.
Whittam then will be at Russell Chicane. There he is. My favourite place for James Whittam at Snetterton because he looks frightening through there, but he's going to take this easily.
So Whittam then on the way to a victory that will be his 3rd from 6 races in this series. Checkered flag time. Whittam the winner. Steve Hislop a very, very good 2nd. And Jim Moody, surprisingly perhaps, pushed back to 3rd.
And it was another Scot, Brian Morrison, who came in 4th. 5th, Rob McElnay. 6th, Ray Stringer. And yet another new lap record. Whittam getting it down to the 1.9s for the first time. And that was on the 2nd lap.
Well done, Jamie. Cheers.
The hat looks good and the riding looked good. You're happy with that?
Yeah, after the first race, I definitely wasn't going to fall off. It felt quick, but it never felt like I was in any danger, which is usually when you do your quick times, which is what I found out. I mean, I'd have put money on that I didn't go as quick as what Jim did in the first one, but you come in and, you know, just because I felt steady, you go quicker because you don't scare yourself, so I was really happy with that.
Steve, well done. You must have been happy with the place and to also see Jim off as well.
Yeah, it was good. Like hanging behind Jim, just trying. He was towing us along, and I mean, like I was struggling on the straights, but I was trying as best I could to stay with him to get the draft, and eventually I just made a move at the chicane, and Jim had another go, but then I think, as Jim said, now the back markers really finished it for his challenge. So it's good. I was pleased to get 4 points.
Did you have a problem apart from the back markers?
No, no real problem. I just the harder I seem to try, the slower I seem to go. You know. But I didn't think he was completely away until Steve came by. You know, and I thought maybe Steve could pull the 2 of us back in touch with him, and he seemed to sort of make a break. And then the 2 of us never get anywhere near him again after that. You know.
Did you feel yourself under any pressure as you went away at the start?
Yeah, I felt like I didn't have, I wasn't going to crash it again. I won on points, and it's just lucky that we've built up. We've had a fair share of luck, and we've been going well in the rest of the series. Otherwise, I could have lost my lead. But I mean, that's how it goes. You race bikes, you're going to fall down, sooner or later, and that maybe was one of mine today.
So James Whittam's championship lead not quite as big as at the start of the day, but still very substantial. 2 second places for Steve Hislop has moved him above Rob McElnay, and Jim Moody has moved up from 8th place. Next round, Catterall Park this weekend.